with us now, we've got Eric Close, who will be starring as Coach Kennedy in the new upcoming film Average Joe, hitting theaters nationwide on October 11th. And then right beside him, we've got the real-life Coach Kennedy. Welcome into the show, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. All right, Eric, I want to start with you about what this film is all about. Tell me about the project and how you got involved.
Well, Average Joe is about a guy who's not really all that average, and it's this guy, Joe Kennedy. I had the honor to portray him in this movie, and Joe has had an absolutely extraordinary life and journey, along with his wife, Denise, and I'm just really honored to play this role. This movie, I love underdog stories, redemption stories, and that's this guy's story. He has faced an incredible amount of adversity and challenge in his life, and he just rose to the occasion. He just stayed the course and fought the good fight, and here we are with a movie coming out on October 11th and telling this extraordinary life of Joe Kennedy.
It paid off. It truly did. Now, Coach, what has this been like, having a movie made all about your life?
Well, as Eric's saying, is all this incredible stuff, that's just weird. You know, I don't know how to process it all. I just keep my head low and let it all go right over. And it's kind of scary to have our whole life being shown everywhere. My wife, Denise, all her life is going to be right there on the big screen. And there's no hiding anything. It's exciting, but very weird at the same time.
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit intimidating. Even for you, Eric, as an actor stepping into this role, what was kind of the attraction that made you want to join the project?
Well, I read his book, and I was really moved by his story and inspired. The journey that he took and the tenacity that he has and the courage that in the face of adversity. I wanted to play that role. I saw it as a challenge, but I also felt that his story was really important at a time like this in our country. And you know, I wanted to honor his time in the Marine Corps and then just his story as a whole. Like I said, he faced a lot of adversity, but those trials that he faced in life all came together, and God used him to fight for not only himself and his right to pray, but the right of every American. And it took a lot of courage because he lost his job over it and almost lost his marriage over it. And I think that it inspires us to do the right thing when you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like I said, I was able to watch the trailer, and I do want to show a little snippet of that because I think it just does a nice job of painting the story of your life and what happened here. Well, let's take a look.
We ready? I've been fighting my whole life.
Joseph Anthony Kennedy.
I was a hellion of a kid who nobody wanted.
1, 2, 3, 4,
So, if you told me that saying a prayer on the 50-yard line was the thing that was going to get me in the biggest fight of my life, you cannot tell me that God doesn't have a sense of humor.
Denise, could I see you in my office for a minute, please?
I want you to pray in the locker room.
Do you not see how absurd this is? Kennedy, do your job and get them in the locker room.
I get it. It's not fair. Nobody cared for 7 years. Now they do.
I bet you can guess where this is going. I made a promise to God. I can't let him down.
I believe they violated your rights.
How do you think the superintendent looked at me when I didn't even know my husband had filed a complaint?
You can't quit now.
But God doesn't need you to defend him.
I'm not defending God. I'm defending the people of this country.
Yeah, the same people who are sending us hate mail.
And that is their right. This case is going to take years to litigate, and there's no guarantee a judge is going to rule in your favor. Are you up for that kind of fight?
You're appealing to the Supreme Court?
I can't stop. Not now.
It's been 3 years of our lives turned completely upside down. I have been the collateral damage to this whole thing.
Will you finish this with me? Because I can't do it without you.
What
is it going to take before your husband gives up this ridiculous crusade of his?
I really don't appreciate your tone. And don't you ever speak to me about my husband that way again. Hold on. I don't remember any fireworks.
That's exactly how I remember it.
No,
You can
no.
decide later which way to film it.
I'm proud of you, no matter what happens.
One thing everyone needs to know is that it's all her fault.
What?
You're the one who taught me that there are still things worth fighting for. Hoorah!
Wow, just incredible. So, Coach, tell me more about that. Your initial reaction when you were fired as the coach. What was going through your mind?
There was a lot of disbelief and just denial over it. I couldn't understand how in America today somebody would have to choose between their faith and their job. And that wasn't going to happen on my watch. It was something that was absolutely worth fighting for. And I will always fight for people's rights, no matter who they are, because we all are the same. We all have the same rights. And yeah, it was tough. It was really tough to do it, but overall, I think it was worth it. I think it's worth the pain.
Yeah, and I mean, quite the extensive legal battle. I mean, your family was drugged through all of this. It really, had an impact on your life. But you had the courage to stand up for what you believed in.
Yeah, and I think all Americans have that somewhere inside them. And that's what I'm really hoping people do. And I think Eric does just a fantastic job of motivating the story and really challenging people about their relationships and their marriages, their passion for the country and our defending America the way that it is and your love of your God. It's pretty cool to see it, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Harold Kronk, the director, he just did a wonderful job of taking this story and being able to weave in with the drama also some levity and some humor. So it's a really nice balance, and it's a fun movie, I have to tell you. I mean, you go away, you're going to cry and you're going to laugh. It's a movie that everybody can go see. There's, it's not geared towards one group of people. It's an American movie. And I think in a sense, it's an international movie, and it inspires people to just stand up and do what's right in the face of adversity.
I love that. A great message too for everybody to leave, and take something away from it. And I'm sure, Eric, coming into this role, I mean, I think it really, you probably would have to look a little bit inside yourself and kind of determine, this is what we're capturing right now in our time, in our society, in our culture as Americans. Why do you feel like right now it's so important to share this story on the film?
Well, I was a little surprised that when I read that he was fired, like Joe just said, he was surprised. I know this country as a country that's free. We have freedom here. You have a freedom to believe in God or not, and you have the freedom to pray or not. And to find out that he got fired for praying, I thought, this is a country that prays. I mean, we see it all the time. We see it in sporting events when an athlete goes down and everybody takes a knee, or, the sportscasters pray, or the President of the United States gives the State of the Union, and they say, God bless you and God bless America. There is faith in this country. And it's what we were founded on, and you should have the right to openly pray. And Joe wasn't pushing it on anybody. He was just praying. He was grateful for his life and all the journeys he's been through, and for the football players and the team and his marriage. And he was just saying, hey, thanks, God. And then he gets fired for it. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's just this kind of sense of patriotism, I think we all have and understand, to a degree. I was traveling overseas and I had some people ask me, well, why is it that, Americans have to say the national anthem, or sing the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance, before sporting events and games. And it's hard to capture that unless you are a true American.
Absolutely. Very well put.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family makes fun of me a little bit because if I'm in my living room and there's the national anthem comes on, I stand up and I put my hand over my heart every single time. I'm incredibly grateful to live here, and I have family members that escaped war-torn Europe and came here with nothing but the shirts on their backs, and they found a new life here. And this whole country has stories like that, and so we also were able to come to this country and be able to exercise our faith. And so I am just grateful to be an American. And I think, you asked, I think this movie's timely because the division seems to be more heightened right now. And I think this movie unites people, and it inspires and encourages people, and it gives them hope. And I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, I just love that we're honoring Coach here, his legacy. I mean, even his time in the military, he's fought for freedoms, you know, in more ways than one. And I think that comes through in this film. And I think it's just going to be exciting. And if audience members want to learn more about it, how to grab tickets, that kind of thing, what's the best way to grab that?
Yeah, really easy. AverageJoeMovie.com. They could go and find showtimes. They could find their tickets and bring groups, bring your churches, bring your family, especially spouses. Yeah, I think it'd be great if everybody just came out starting October 11th. AverageJoeMovie.com.
Yeah, lots of great takeaways. Based on a true story, hitting theaters nationwide on October 11th. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.